Hi there everybody, thank you for coming back for another video of my Johto Solo Run series. We're going to get started with the wheel randomizer in a minute, but first we're just going to go over the rules. So rule 1, we let the wheel decide. Spin 3 times, whatever 3 Pokemon come up we choose one of them and do the full run with. Secondly, I can only use that Pokemon in battle for the entire run. Rule 3, I cannot heal using items in battle. I can heal outside of battle using items, that's fair game, but not inside battle. Rule 4, no held items. This means likes of no charcoal, no pink bow, nothing that can boost my moves or heal anything within battle. Rule 5, I can use TMs and HMs. Rule 6, I can't use double team unless it is learned via level up. Okay, now the rules are done, let's get on with the run. Right, Magby was a fantastic run. Let's see what we get for episode number 10. First up, we've got Hoot Hoot. I really want to do a Hoot Hoot run. First, it's the regional bird, so of course it's going to be an interesting one. Second up, we have Qwilfish. I have never used a Qwilfish before. That's a strong contender. What do we get last? Last we have Natu. I really want to do a Natu run. You know what? I've never used Qwilfish before. Let's go with Qwilfish. Okay, so we've chosen Qwilfish on the wheel. So that also means that we should really talk about its stats. So, Qwilfish is a water poison Pokemon. Very underrated in my opinion. I actually really like it as a Pokemon. It's got 65 HP, 95 attack, 75 defense, 55 special attack and defense, and then 85 speed. So it's a relatively quick Pokemon again. We're going to replace Totodile with Qwilfish for this video. That means Chikorita is going to be our main problem. But to be fair, any of the starters actually aren't, like, it's not going to have a problem against any of them, really. Like, against Totodile, we're going to water against water. Fire Pokemon, it's not really going to be the worst thing as well because we're a water Pokemon. So Chikorita, even though we do have poison type moves, we won't really keep Poison Sting for too very long. It means that in the longer run, Chikorita will be a harder Pokemon to fight against as a rival. And yeah, we don't really get a water move until level 19, so there's no chance we're going to get one before we even get to Falconer. But because we start off with Poison Sting, it's actually a really interesting matchup to start off with. Annoyingly, we don't beat at level 7 this Spearow, one of the trainers in the gym. So we need to go and level up a little bit more against the Bellsprouts in the Sprout Tower. Now, because we're a water poison, it also means that we remove that grass weakness. It's going to be neutral damage now instead. And we can get through most of these with relative ease. We can get up to level 9 before we even really go back to Falconer's gym. And we can't really use Poison Sting against those Bellsprouts. They're grass poison, so they resist it. But once we've got up a few levels, we can go back to Falconer and we can see how we do. So, we're going into this battle at level 9. We've got Poison Sting to start off with. We want to get that poison chance so it can chip away at the health. We do get it against the Pidgey. And because it's setting up Mud Slaps, it's super effective against us. That's the reason why we wanted to poison it, because then even if we don't hit too many times, we can then chip away its HP while it's poisoned. Annoyingly in this attempt though, the Pidgeotto's going to take us out because we got hit too many times with Mud Slap, so we needed a couple, like at one more level. And at level 10 we get some absolutely amazing moves. We get the move Minimize and the move Harden, which at this stage in the game is overpowered in my opinion. Really overpowered. You can see here, Minimize, we're not getting hit. When Mudslap does hit, we're using Harden, so we're not taking much damage on. They only use physical attacking moves in this fight. We can then take our time using Poison Sting, get the poison, and even though our accuracy is low, we're not taking much damage. We're also not getting hit very much because of Minimize, and this battle becomes so easy. Like, it looks like it's taking a long time, and it is, because we're taking up a lot of turns, but we get the poison on first hit every time with this Qwilfish. It's really, really good. Now, you'll notice as well, I've talked about this in the last few videos, whenever I set up the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to choose my Pokemon as a starter, I actually don't have the chance to choose whether it's going to be male or female. This time it actually is a female, which is good because it gives us the options later on that we can use Attract. So let's move on to Azalea Town. Considering how well we did against Faulkner, I'm going to go against the rival here first. And he's going to be starting off with Ghastly, which isn't the greatest matchup for us. So we are going to minimise, we're going to get our evasion up as high as we can, and hopefully we don't get hit by Hypnosis or get paralysed by Lick. So once we've done that, the only move that can really hit him is Poison Sting. Thankfully, we've got a lot of PP for Poison Sting, so we're hoping for the crits. The most annoying thing is though, Poison Sting will not poison the Ghastly because it is a poison type. Which makes sense. Why would you poison if you are a poison type? And we're only level 15 going into this, so our attacking options aren't that great. We don't get another move until level 19. And to be honest, I feel like we can easily do this battle and beat Bugsy at this level. Poison Sting would decimate his bug Pokemon. And if not, Tackle would take out the likes of the Kakuna because that one will resist poison. But the fact that we have Minimize, it just makes this so much easier. I mean, we're not doing too well against this Ghastly here. We keep getting put to sleep. It keeps hitting with Lick. And it's going to be a little bit of a slog, but once we've set up our Minimize as high as we really can, we can just continue using Poison Sting. And when it comes to the Bayleaf next, we're really going to have to hope that we don't get hit. We've been paralysed there, which is not good. We're now not outspeeding the Ghastly. And we've got 11 HP going to the Bayleaf. Annoying, we've got the Zubat as well beforehand, so we've got to use Tackle here because Poison Sting's not effective. And even though all those Minimize and all those Hardens are set up, it still manages to hit us and take us out. So I just feel like that was an unlucky attempt. So we're going to go try this again. We're going to go Minimize so we don't get hit, or well, we do get hit there. It's mainly the Hypnosis that we don't want to get hit by. Because if we get put to sleep, it's just going to take ages before we can actually do anything. I misclicked there for Tackle. And now we can start doing damage with Poison Sting. And yeah, this is going to be a bit of a slog. I did try speeding up the footage a little bit, but it is just going to be a slog. We're not doing very much. We can't poison it to then chip off its HP over time. We've just got to rely on Poison Sting. There is literally no other move we can use here. It has to be Poison Sting. But we do get a lot of critical hits. We don't get paralysed when the Lick hits. And it's a weird concept. You're licking a puffer fish. So, yeah. Tackle is going to do decent damage against the Zubat. It's not the greatest move, Tackle, but it's better than using Poison Sting in this circumstance. Now the Bayleaf comes out, and we're going to be using Poison Sting here because it's super effective. Bayleaf is just a pure grass type, not a grass poison, so poison is super effective here. And Razor Leaf does hit, and if we get hit by one more Razor Leaf, we're down. It misses there, and we can finally get the poison to take it out. So we move up to level 16, and we can move against Bugsy now. But that was a bit of a slog. I definitely don't want to keep Poison Sting and Tackle for too much longer. I need to find some new moves that I'm going to use. Water Gun is going to be a move that we'll use very briefly. But Minimize, honestly, I think Minimize might be the move we have to take throughout the entirety of this run. Raising your evasion, yeah, it's kind of like the Double Team scenario. It's not... My rule with Double Team is that I can't teach Double Team via TM. But if I learn it via level up, I class that as fair game because it's something that naturally happens with the Pokemon, not something you force upon it. So I feel like keeping Minimize is fair for this run. It does make it a lot easier, I'll be completely honest, and we do have to spend a lot of time setting up the Minimizers so we don't get hit and we can get through some key battles. Now the Kakuna comes out, we're going to have to switch to Tackle because we're not going to be able to poison it. We have got full Minimize set up and we have just had our speed dropped. So we need to get these Poison Stings in on the Cypher and hope he doesn't go for Fury Cutter. So we've got it poisoned, it's not super effective, but now we can switch to Tackle, which does maybe a little bit more damage. And yeah, we can just take it out at our own leisure. And it turned out to be a very easy battle. We're level 18 going into this, and we can move on to Whitney. Now Whitney is going to be interesting. We do resist rock because of the poison, but I still don't think it's going to be that easy of a battle. We've picked up Headbutt, which is a much better move than Tackle is, and it has the chance to flinch. So while we're setting up our Minimizers, we do take quite a bit of damage. And thankfully now it's just not hitting us whatsoever, apart from that double slap there, which takes us down to 23 health, which isn't good. And she keeps hitting with the double slaps, with 5 hit double slaps, which is really annoying. But headbutt is going to take him out in 2, and we can move on to the mill tank. Now, we're definitely not going to take it out in 1. I'm kind of hoping for the poison chance so that we can take it down over time. We're on 1 HP. Are we going to be able to do this? Please don't hit us. Please don't hit us. Please don't hit us. Yes! That's the first time victory against Whitney. And now we learn water gun. So I am going to get rid of Hardin at this point. We've got a stab water move. It's not the greatest water move, but with it being a stab move, it's probably a bit better to be using. And especially since Morty is up next, I'd rather have that stab move. But we didn't keep water gun for very long at all, because in Equity Town you can go against the Kimono Girls and you can get Surf from beating all of those, which is a much better move. I know it's a HM move and I don't tend to use them in the solo runs because without a move deleter, you're limiting yourself to 3 other moves that you can choose. You have to be stuck with that one move now for the rest of the game. But Surf is actually a useful HM. It does a lot of damage, it's 100% accurate, and because we're a water Pokemon we get the stab bonus on it. So it means that we make Morty a massive breeze and we can get through first time. That Minimize Surf combo is definitely a really good one to have. And now Morty's beaten, we can move on to Chuck. The biggest threat here is going to be that Poliwrath because of Dynamic Punch. If it can hit the Dynamic Punch, it confuses us, does big damage, but with us being a poison type, we don't take too much damage from fighting type Pokemon. See, it's not effective. So we've got a chance here against the Primeape to set up our Minimizers. And annoyingly, Fury Swipes does hit. We've still got Poison Sting at this point. It's going to still be a little while before I change that move. Headbutt is going to be one that I keep for quite a while as well, because it's a decent normal type move with the chance to flinch. The Poliwrath comes out, it misses Hypnosis, misses pretty much everything. And I've put it into range to get taken out. So, Dynamic Punch hits. Please hit, please hit, please hit. No, we lose. Told you, Dynamic Punch, it's an absolute wild card, but it does really annoy me. But I still think we've got a very good chance to win this very easily. Annoyingly, Fury Swipes hits quite a lot there. And there we go. Now it starts on Rage, which is good. That means that it's going to do very little amount of damage, and because we're not hitting them because we're setting up Minimizers, its attack's not going to go up very high. We get the Flinch, which is clutch, and we're on 56 HP. Decent amount for this time of the battle. I'm just going to go for the... Oh, please flinch. No, use this Hypnosis. Oh, that's annoying. So Mind Reader, make sure that the next hit always hits. It's a good combo with Dynamic Punch, considering it's got low accuracy, but do you really want to set up have 2 moves to set up 1 move? It's up to you if you do that, but personally it's not one that I would generally go for. So after we've done that, I thought about going to face Jasmine, but I just think that with those Magnemites, we're not going to have a good time. So I went straight over to Mahogany Town next, and from there we can go and do the Rocket side quest. It's just really more to get up a few more levels, just so that, like, I think Surf's probably going to be the best thing we use against the Magnemites, and we need to make sure that one hits. Considering we don't have super effective moves against Magnemites, Surf's going to be the main move that we use for big power hits. And we had to get up a few more levels to be able to do that, because considering now special defense is not very good, it's at 55 in terms of base stats, it means that Thunderbolt will do very big damage on us, which is not good. We don't want that. But while we're in Mahogany, we might as well go up against Price. He's an easy gym leader. Get a few more levels while we're going against him. And we've got alright speed at this level. 79 speed at level 38 is alright. It's not great. Base speed for Qwilfish 85, so yeah, it's not great, but it's not bad. So Price goes down pretty easily. There's only really one other move that I'm considering putting on my roster, and that is Hydro Pump. We get that level 46. But considering Surf is a really good move and we need it for HMs anyway, I might actually skip using Hydro Pump on this run. So we're going back to Jasmine now. We've still got Poison Sting in the arsenal because there's not a better move that we could be using right now. I think I'm going to replace Poison Sting though for Icy Wind because we know we've got Dragon type Pokemon coming up in the Elite Four. And we've also got it for Claire coming up as well. Now we've got all those levels, Jasmine becomes an absolute cakewalk. We've one-shot everything, we outspeed everything. And I think that was easily the better play to do instead of trying to force my way through at a low level. Next up we're going against Ben with his Golbat. And we have taught Icy Wind now. So Icy Wind is a critical hit, one shot on the Golbat. Magnemite comes out, it's weaker than Jasmine, so we know I misclicked there. And he uses... Ooh, we nearly get hit by Thunder Wave. Surf takes it out in one, so that's good. Haunter's out next, and again, Surf is going to be the move to use here. Doesn't take it out in one though, which is very surprising. So, but that might just be down to our special attack being quite a low base stat. Our physical attack is much stronger, so that's the reason why we're keeping Headbutt for now. 70 base power move, 100% accuracy. Yeah, it's worth keeping for the moment. Icy Wind's not even doing half damage on the Meganium with 10 levels above it. Razor Leaf doesn't do much damage this time because it doesn't crit, and we managed to get through quite quickly, to be fair. So, now that we've beaten the rival, we can finish off the Rocket Game, sorry, not the Rocket Game corner, the Rocket side quest and go against Claire. So, the main move we're going to be using here, we're going to be going for Minimize to start off with. If we can get Minimized, we don't get hit by Thunder Wave, that makes it so key. Annoyingly, we get hit by Dragon Breath there, which also has a chance to paralyze you. She loves the paralysis, Claire does. And once we settle Minimize, we can sweep with Icy Wind. So that it's going to be a two-shot on all the Dragonairs, because they're pretty much all the same stats. But with Minimize setup, we give ourselves a chance not to get hit. The Kingdra is going to be tricky. And it's going to be a headbutt, probably a headbutt strat to go with. Icy Wind doesn't freeze, it reduces attack, I think. So yeah, reduce attack or speed, one of the two. But the reason why I'm going to go with Headbutt, we've got the flinch chance and we then get a crit, which is very clutch. So Claire in the end actually didn't end up being a problem. Beat it first time, and yeah, we can move on to the Elite Four. But before the Elite Four, we have the last chance that Ben has to beat us. Let's see how we go. He starts off with his Sneasel and we're level 52 now. One shot in the Sneasel, easy done. Magneton comes out, we know Surf is going to do big damage, and it's nearly a one shot. Damn it. Thundershock hits, and we're paralysed. That's not good considering the Pokemon coming up next, which is Kadabra. Thankfully he goes for Future Sight, and I use Minimize. If I can not get hit by that, yes, there we go. And now we can take out the Kadabra. That was good strategy on my point. I'm going to take credit for that. That is very good strategy. By using Minimize, we made sure the Future Sight didn't hit us, and we're not getting hit by anything else really. We get hit by Confuse Ray there, which is not good. Ah, that's it. Icy Wind reduces speed. I'll remember that for future runs. I could teach myself Blizzard, but I actually couldn't remember at this point in the game where do I find Blizzard, and I was on such a roll. I didn't want to go off to another tab and try and figure out where it was or have like a list up ready. I really should do that for future runs. I can't even remember off the top of my head if you get Blizzard before the post game, so yeah. We went with Icy Wind for the majority of this. And this Meganium was just being annoying, but thankfully Minimize comes through for us. It is hands down the best move that I used on my Qwilfish. It saved us in so many places, it helped us through so many battles, and we can move on to the Elite Four at a very good level. So Xatu comes out first with Will, and we're going to set the Minimizers up straight away because he has got Psychic Pokemon, we're a Poison type Pokemon. Not a great matchup for us unless we can get our evasion up as high as possible. Once that's done, we've swapped out Return for Headbutt, Headbutt for Return, sorry, and we can start breezing through his Pokemon. Even then, it's still not the easiest battle. if they can use psychic type attacks on me and they hit, we're going to have a bit of a problem. The Slowbro is tanky as well. Thankfully, Return does over half damage, and we're using physical attacking moves, so the Amnesia is a wasted turn. Second Xatu comes out next. And it's still not a one-shot. And he uses Max Potion. Okay, so after this, we get a critical hit there, and it's Executor up last. So we have Icy Wind, which is going to do big damage on it. Going to take out in 2 hits. And there we go. And that's well done first time. Next up is Koga. So can we beat Koga first time with a Qwilfish? He's not going to be very effective against us. He's a poison type trainer, mostly poison bug. But I think as long as we set up our minimizers, we don't want to escape, so Spiderweb is a useless move to use against us. And the Ariados gives us every chance to set up all of our minimizers. So now our evasion won't rise higher. We can go with Surf or we can go with Icy Wind. And you can see me pausing here because I'm thinking, oh yeah, he's set up a lot of double teams, so we might take a while for us to hit him. When it does, 2 hits is enough to take it out. So next up's the Venomoth. Now we don't have a super effective move against it here, so I go for Return and nearly takes it out. So Icy Wind takes it out on the next turn. Icy Wind's quite a good finisher offer move. Finisher offer? That is, for an English person, I don't speak very good English, do I, apparently? Okay, Surf is going to be a much better move to use against the Fortress. Can neutral damage, and we've got the stab on it. Moving on to the Muck. This is the one I was actually more worried about. Muck is bulky in both defences, and he uses Acid Armour. So 3 Surfs takes it out, even though we're 13 levels above it. Now Crobat comes out, and we're going to go for the Icy Wind. If we can get a speed drop, that makes it even better. But it's also super effective. And then he uses full restore. Great. Okay, so Icy Wind then misses, and he started using double teams. So I'm going to go for Return. And it's a much better move to be using, really. So once we can hit another move, we should be able to take it out from there. And there we go, there goes Crobat, and there goes Koga. We've won this one. Up next is Bruno. Now, considering Poison-type Pokemon are resistant to fighting, I don't think we're going to have a problem here. The worrying thing is the Hitmontop has Dig. So if we can't take it out in 1 hit, then it's going to do big damage on us. So even with 2 minimizers, it still hits, but Dig actually didn't do anywhere near as much damage as I thought it would. And that really comes down to the 75 base defense that we had. It's actually helping us out a lot, really, with these Pokemon. So now that Hitmontop has used Dig again, we've got full minimize set up, we can start sweeping from here. Hitmonchan's got Thunder Punch, which is going to be kind of scary, but Hitmonchan is actually kind of a bad Pokemon. It's like, in the first couple of generations, the stat distribution and the move selection is just not that good. And Return's also a really good move for us here as well. Most of his Pokemon are actually quite defensively weak apart from the Onix, but considering it's especially defensive weak, even an Icy Wind nearly takes out in 1. I was surprised it even tanked 1 of them. Next up is the Machamp, last Pokemon up, and he's set up his Sandstorm, which is annoying, but it also means it hits him as well. Does that little bit of chip damage make the difference? He might be in heal range here. Yeah, he is. So Max Potion is going to come in, and I've got to make sure that I take him out in these next hits, and that he doesn't hit me. Because if he hits a cross chop here, nope, we outspeed and we win. So 3 Elite 4 members, 3 one-shots. Can we do the same on Karen? I'm worried about the Vileplume, because I think that's probably going to be the more worrying one. So Umbreon comes out first, and we're starting off with Minimize. Annoyingly, it does get 1 Sand attack off, but after that, I realised that here, the Feint attack works the same as Swift. It's essentially the Dark type Swift. It doesn't matter how much you raise your evasion, Feint attack hits every single time. And because Umbreon is so bulky, it takes us down to 14 HP before we even get to the second Pokemon. Icy Wind will do alright damage against Vileplume. Return will take it out. So we're at 14 HP, third Pokemon in. So if we get hit by this Gengar, we've lost. And it paralyzes us with Lick. And then uses Curse. Oh, that did not work out well for us. Surf probably would have taken it out as well. It's annoying that we didn't hit it. Okay, so we are going to go with Minimize to start off with. We want at least 2 of them before he starts using Sand Attack and Feint Attack on us, because we don't want to lose too much HP on this Umbreon. And it goes down in 2 returns. So level 56 here. Decent level, really. Vileplume hits with its Petal Dance, which is very annoying. And return hits. And he hits again with Petal Dance. I've got 3 Minimizers set up. Flipping heck. Okay, so we're not on good HP going into the Gengar again. But if we can get the Surf off... Oh, why is Surf missing? Flipping heck. Okay, so it's going to take 2 Surf to take it out. It's a Sand Attack at the start. That's why I'm not hitting. That's why it's really annoying that she starts off with a Sand Attack Umbreon. Okay, so Murkrow is going to use Feint Attack. If we don't hit it here, we'll lose. And now we've just got the Houndoom left. If we can hit our Surf, we win. Come on, we hit our Surf. He hangs on and uses Pursuit and then Max Potion. Oh my god. Come on. Come on, is that a range? It's not a range. It's not a range. That was close. That was very close. Okay, so Karen was the first one we lost to. How are we going to do against Lance here? We do have Icy Wind. We've got Surf. Takes out the Charizard and the Aerodactyl. So whether we're going to be doing enough damage here. So we'll have 57 going into this fight. Hyper Beam hits, and this gives us 2 chances to set up more Minimizers. He uses Flail and it misses. Hits this time. But because he's got full HP, Flail doesn't do that much. And we've finally got all of our Minimizers set up. And he's missing every Hyper Beam. So now it's time to return. And it's going to take 2 returns this time to take out Gyarados. Not bad at all. We haven't lost too much HP there. So this might be the Thunder Dragonite. It is the Thunder Dragonite, but thanks to the Minimizers we get through. And 2 Icy Winds is enough to take it out. So this Dragonite should be the Blizzard Dragonite. It has Thunder Wave as well, which is annoying, but because of the Minimize, it's genuinely the best move I used on this strategy. We miss our first Icy Wind here, and he goes for Outrage, and then we get a critical hit with Icy Wind. Take out the level 50 Dragonite. I think we're going to do this first time against Lance. Surf hits the Charizard, it's a one-shot. Get in. Next is the Aerodactyl. Unless he does something miraculous here, I think we've won. And we do. We've beaten Lance first time. Karen was the most annoying on this run. Oh, I knew Qwilfish was going to be good. I knew it. He is very underrated. So now we've beaten the Elite Four with Qwilfish. What time did we do this in? Honestly, if you're going to do a solo run, I recommend Sneasel or Qwilfish. They've actually been really fun to use. Let's see what time we got. So, level 58, decent level to finish at. And 4 hours 10 minutes, we beat the Magby time. Okay, so we got a better Pokemon than Magby here. I knew it was going to be good, I just didn't realise it was going to be better than Magby. Fire-type Pokemon are actually quite good in Gen 1. Gen 2. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. But that's not the end of the video. We've still got Kanto to go. And because the gym leaders in Kanto aren't anything to worry about, there's only Blue that I really show. I've been saying that the last few videos if you get to this point in the video. So let's see how we do against Blue. We're at level 66 here and we're straight away going for Minimize. We haven't really changed our moveset at all. We've got Return, we've got Icy Wind, we've got Minimize, we've got Surf. I can't really get rid of Surf anyway, it's a HM move. And once we've done that, Icy Wind set up. And it's going to be a 2-shot, I think, on the Pidgeot. When we hit it, because it has been using Minimize as well. Yeah, it's going to be a 2-shot. So next up, he's going to be using Alakazam because he has Psychic type moves. If we can hit a Return, that should be a 1-hit KO. It is, and we can move on. So next, I feel it's going to be Rhydon. If we can hit the Surf, that should be a 1-hit KO as well. We're level 66. Usually we're around about the 70 mark. 70 plus mark at this point. So I'm quite impressed that we're doing this at level 66. Gyarados misses his Hyper Beam, we're going in with Return. And I think we're going to do this first time against Blue, which doesn't happen very often. It hasn't happened very often so far. Arcanine comes out and Surf. Oh, he has Swift. I never knew he had Swift on his roster. That's interesting. That means no matter what our evasion is, he's always going to hit us. That's annoying. And then I remember Blue also has a few full restores, which makes this battle kind of annoying. So it's going to take us 2 Surfs to take out that Arcanine no matter what we do. And there we go. We're on to the Executor. So if he actually hits a Solar Beam here, I'm going to be very, very annoyed. He's tuck in Sunlight. Return. Yes, there we go. First time victory against Blue. I'm very happy with that. Level 67 and we've beaten Blue. That's really good. Considering for a Pokemon like Qwilfish, which gets overlooked so much, I think this is really good. But moving into Red, let's see how we do. So the biggest problem with Red is his Pikachu for a Qwilfish. Because one Thunder takes us out in one. So I'll be honest, there wasn't really any other movesets that we could have done that could make this different. This moveset we had is literally the best moveset we could use for the Qwilfish. But as you can see here, you've got to hope that Minimize works on the very first turn. And then I remembered I'm also a female Pokemon, so we do use Attract. We do use Attract for this battle. If you can get that Minimize chance working, Pikachu never hits you. And that means Return then takes him out in one hit at level 78. And then he moves into Espeon next because it's a Psychic Pokemon. So we use Attract. We've got our Minimizer set up and then we can just spam Return. And Return's going to take 2 hits to take out. Infatuation stops him from attacking. So 2 Pokemon down, no HP lost. Next up is Snorlax. I'm going for Attract. We don't need to use Swagger this time, so we are going to use Return. It's going to take a canny few hits to take it out. But again, its Infatuation doesn't allow it to attack. And we can take out the Snorlax quite comfortably, which I didn't think I would say starting this run. Next up is Venusaur. He's going to be going for Solar Beam, so we want to use Attract so that it stops him from attacking. And pretty much Venusaur only uses Solar Beam. It's quite weird, until like he runs out of PP for it, he doesn't use anything else. And we can take it out quite comfortably as well. Next up will be the Blastoise. Now, we do resist water type moves, so Surf won't do much damage if it hits, but even then, it's still powerful. I did another attempt where I got to Blastoise and his Surf pretty much stayed around about half damage. In this attempt though, we do not take any damage. And last up is the Charizard. We're going to use Surf. And for the first time ever on these runs, we managed to get through Red without losing one single bit of HP. Which I think deserves to push Qwilfish up those ranks. Absolutely outstanding. I had a lot of fun with Qwilfish. It is, as I've said a few times, very underrated. Give Qwilfish some more love in Gen 2. Come on, guys. Okay, so the thing that I'm most interested about now we've completed this run, what time did we do this in? First off, let's have a look at our stats. So, we have Surf, we have Return, we have Minimize, we have Attract. Probably not the moveset you would have thought I'd go with starting out. We finished in 5 hours and 19 in-game minutes. That's really, really quick. It's as quick as Magby was. Maybe a little bit slower. I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, guys, we're at the end of the video. Thank you for watching if you got this far.